Alright, so this is Mother Base. This is how you can organize... No, I don't need to watch a tutorial. I know how to play this game already. This is how you can organize your unit. So, I'm gonna start by organizing this team. I'm gonna send people to different units, whether it is the combat unit or the R&D team. I like to sort these guys based on their job description. I consider the job description to be right under their name. You got Eagle Ray, who is an engineer, so he's obviously going to go to the combat unit. You can always sort these guys by their skills right here. That's sorted by the R&D level. That's combat team, mess hall team, medical team, and intel team. Those teams haven't been developed yet, and that'll be developed a little bit later on. In the waiting room, I usually sort them by GMP. Alligator is my favorite guy to go into the combat unit. I've played this game multiple times, and through multiple playthroughs, I've always noticed that Alligator is the only guy with skills in the combat unit, and he's in every single start game, so I usually like to use him. I figure he's of some importance that I haven't figured out yet. Now I'm going to put all the medics and the spies and the mess hall guys into the combat unit, just so I can use their GMP until I develop the medic, intel, and the mess hall teams. And then I'm going to put all the mechanics into the R&D team. I have a little bit of OCD. I don't want to call it OCD, but I'm definitely obsessive about where I put these guys at in these units right here. So we got all our engineers. I always like to have them sorted out by their job. So I would never have a medic in the R&D class or something like that. That's one thing I'm obsessive about. No, I know how to do that already. So this is how you get more weapons in this game. You go to the development status and use the GMP from the combat unit to develop new weapons. I always like to develop as much weapons and items as I possibly can. We got the analyzer that we can make. Analyzer is pretty important to get the best soldiers, because when you're kidnapping people, you can kidnap some bums and you can kidnap some relatively good guys. So you want to have that analyzer developed. You want to have a strong tranquilizer dart. You just want to have all the items that you possibly can have developed. Alright, looks like we're all done here. Peace Walker does have an online mode. I haven't done MGS Peace Walker, well, competitive online. I've always been considering it, especially since MGO shut down, but we might do that in the course of this walkthrough. Maybe, maybe not. Now this is the mission screen. There are two kinds of missions. You have main operations. These missions advance the storyline right here. You also have the extra ops. These missions don't really advance the storyline, but they're imperative to getting some better weapons. So I always like to do them in the I guess you want to call this the chronological order. And this is the chronological order right here. When you go to the All tab, they'll be in chronological order. And we're going to start this mission right here. Contact the Sandinista Comandante.
Snake, I rigged that radio so you can contact our young lady friend Paz.
Is she okay?
No need to worry. She's tougher than you think.
Still just a kid.
Which is exactly why she could be an effective source of information. Besides, that little Angel de la Paz is the one who gave us this mission, right?
I guess.
I'll put her on.
Snake.
Paz, where are you?
Ciudad Colón. A school. The teacher told me to stay here until things quiet down.
Teacher? Oh, him. He's... Yeah, that's probably good advice.
See, he has a radio in his room, so we can talk anytime.
Pretty fancy for a teacher.
Promise me, Snake, that you'll bring back peace, and...
I know. I'll contact you if I find your friend.
Thank you. Snake, if you need to know about Costa Rica, the geography, the climate, the wildlife, anything, just ask me. I know about its history and laws too. We learned it all in school.
Got it. I have a question. I'll ask. What?
In school, I also learned that peace is an unnatural state for human society. and that war is a constant threat to our relationships with others.
That's right.
So, to achieve peace, we have to create it ourselves. Crying about it won't bring it about or make it last. Each one of us must go and seek it out.
You won't find it without making sacrifices. No offense, but I don't know what peace is. Never felt what it's like. Huh. Never even been interested in it.
Snake?
Oh, sorry. Listen, Paz, I think your ideas are admirable. And I hope they turn out to be right.
Yeah, me too.
Peace is in your name. Who better to help bring it back?
Thanks, Snake. I will be here whenever you need me. See you later.
Snake, use your radio to call people, but stay alert. You're in the middle of a mission and can't afford to let your guard down.
Got it.
Need to know more about Costa Rica? Haas can help you out.
Good to know.
We'll follow their transport route. This should take us straight to their main base.
From what I've seen, it looks like nukes.
Agreed. The key thing now is to confirm whether those spears really are what we think they are, and if so, why they're here.
Follow the transport route. Find the nukes.
That's what I'm thinking. First, we should make contact with the Sandinista Comandante. They can tell us more about what's up ahead. But it looks like their hideout's already come under attack.
We better hope they're still alive.
Snake, infiltrate that cabin and secure the Sandinista's Comandante. Neutralize any guards by knocking them out, putting them to sleep, or even using the Fulton recovery system. You choose how to handle it, boss.
Alright, so with these missions, you can customize what gear that you bring with you. Now, right now, I only have the jungle fatigues, a bunch of variations on the jungle fatigues, and the naked set right here. So I'm just gonna use the regular jungle fatigues. I'm gonna customize my setup. I usually like to use the M16, the tranq gun, grenade, smoke grenade, C4, and a supply marker. And for the items, I usually like to do the surround indicator, the Fulton recovery to kidnap people. I usually like the analyzer right here, night vision goggles, and I like my rescue box, but I don't have that unlocked yet, so we'll just use the love box. And then I like the rations and the future curry in these slots right here. Also with these missions, there are a bunch of briefing files that give a lot of backstory into the game storyline, into the game setting. This is 1974, and with Big Boss's storyline in both Metal Gear Solid 3 and Peace Walker, they do a great job of blending the real history with the game's history, and I love to go through that, and I'm going to show that through this walkthrough right here. Now, there are going to be a lot of briefing files, and I'm going to try to get through all of them, and I'm trying to space it out so I'm not doing too many briefing files at one time. I'm also trying to have it so that I'm going to have some briefing files, and then I'm going to have a mission along with the briefing files in the same video, so it's not just a whole bunch of talking. There's also going to be some action in there. If you have a problem with listening to the storyline of the game, then you can always skip past it. If you want to be a bitch about it, oh, I don't like hearing about the story, I just want to see the gameplay. Oh, fuck you. That's where I'm going to do my walkthrough. If you don't like it, go watch somebody else. So, first thing we're going to look at right here is Paz's tape. This is the reason why Big Boss is taking this mission. So let's listen to this right now.
Number of warheads detected by the dew line.
57.
Number of MIRVs included.
Minimum 29, maximum 35.
Target region.
United States, East Coast.
Estimated time of re-entry.
2048 Zulu.
President selected attack option.
Unknown.
The president is dead.
Unknown. Communication has been lost.
I select Offutt Air Force Base as my target.
Offutt? But that's a US base. What on earth do you mean?
Based on the projected number of incoming warheads, Washington, D.C. is presumed destroyed. The president is most likely dead. The U.S. government's control lost.
I realize that. So why not retaliate?
With both sides destroyed, global anarchy would ensue. Recovery would be difficult. The United States' nuclear strike capability must therefore be neutralized in order to preserve the communist bloc, where government remains largely intact.
You're siding with the enemy. You can't be serious.
Tell me, how do you define enemy? There are no borders in this world.
The same conclusion again and again. Where is the flaw? All right, let's try something else. Commencing test.
Understood.
You're crossing a suspension bridge.
Is this my mission?
Yes, your destination is the other side. The bridge is wide enough for only one person to pass at a time. A man is approaching from the opposite side. He's carrying a gun.
I shoot him.
Suppose he's your husband.
I shoot him.
In self-defense?
To spare him the grief. One must die, and one must live.
Next question. Your father asks you to fix the roof and mow the lawn. When you climb the ladder onto the roof, the ladder is taken away.
I fix the roof.
And when you're finished?
I jump down.
You'll break more than bones at this height.
I see no need to change my decision. I have not finished mowing the lawn. I must remain loyal to the mission.
Next. There is a snake in the bushes. It is poisonous. I need you to get rid of it.
I chase it back to its nest.
You can't. The snake's too vicious. It's already killed many people.
I chase it away.
It will bite you unless you kill it.
Go home. Kill me. Kill me now.
Why not kill the snake? Your mission is to get rid of it. Is this what you call loyalty? What are you loyal to? Country? Ideology? Feelings?
I am loyal to myself.
Who's there?
Who's that? Intruder!
Alright, so that was the tape that made Big Boss take this mission of getting the CIA out of Costa Rica. He heard the boss's voice, and when I first heard about this game, I couldn't believe that the boss was alive. Now those were just random data files. Those files for Miller, Paz, and the data files give you information about them, the background, the setting of the story. These files right here, the About the Mission files, give you specific information about the mission that you're about to do right here. So let's get some information from Miller and Paz about the Contact the Sandinista Comandante mission.
Kaz, what kind of shape is that plant the professor gave us in?
First time I laid eyes on it, I thought it was some kind of joke. It was a giant birdhouse, seagulls everywhere. We eventually scraped off most of the rust and bird crap. The underlying structure's intact. Little elbow grease? Man, we should be in business.
Who used to own it anyway? Whatever shape it's in now, somebody sank some serious money into building it.
From what I can tell, an American university built it as a research platform for ocean thermal energy conversion. The name's still on some of the rusty old power turbines. I'm guessing they must have had government and corporate assistance to build it too. But they couldn't solve the thermal efficiency problem, and the project was canceled. Then after the university abandoned it, a KGB front company scooped it up for next to nothing. At least that's my theory.
How'd the KGB manage to buy a plant built with American capital, front company or not?
Yeah, that professor is quite the operator. One other thing. The plant's set up so that it can join up with other plants of the same standard.
So, they were originally planning on expanding the place, huh?
Hey, let's give it a shot. We can get some more people together and build this place up into a proper home for MSF. You're with me on this, right, boss? Snake, you can use the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system to send prisoners and unconscious mercenaries you encounter back to Mother Base. I know you've used the Fulton before, but just to make sure I'm not missing anything, let's review the steps.
Okay.
First, attach a balloon to the unconscious enemy or captured prisoner.
Right. I hook a wire to their waist, and on the other end of the wire, there's a helium balloon.
Right. Then we'll send over a chopper to catch the floating balloon with its recovery hook and reel it up into its cargo hold.
And that's it?
And that's it. We finished installing the recovery hook on the Huey.
Wait, Kaz. Something doesn't make sense about this whole process.
This again.
Well, normally, Fulton recovery is for when you're using fixed-wing aircraft. With a helicopter, isn't it simpler to land and pick up directly?
Listen, Snake. You're going to be calling for recoveries repeatedly throughout your mission. We want to keep the risk of taking enemy fire to a minimum. The best way to get that done is to do the recovery in a high-speed flyby. That's what the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system is for.
Uh-huh. What's the real reason?
Helicopters are cheaper, and the repair bills will start adding up once the bullets start flying.
I thought so. Cause I know we need to keep costs down, but...
Boss, you really need to get rid of this whole army mentality. We're not the Pentagon. We don't have billions of taxpayer dollars to play with. And besides...
Fine. Just pick a reason that makes sense.
Helicopters have quicker response time. Sounds strange, yeah, but it works great. I promise. You'll get used to it before long.
Yeah, I hope so.
Still can't believe Professor Galvez was KGB.
Well, like the professor said, Moscow's hell-bent on communizing Latin America.
Yeah, the Cuban intel services are all in the KGB's pocket. You don't think he's got some kind of ulterior motive?
If the CIA is up to something, it's only natural that the KGB wants to know about it. But I doubt they're showing us their full hand.
We'd better watch our backs.
What do you think, Cuz? Why did Paz come all the way to Colombia herself?
It's a long trip to make just to be Exhibit A in Galvez's sales pitch. She's only 16. Still a kid. Maybe we should take her wish for peace at face value. Don't forget to give the MSF staff assignments. Where you place people will determine how Mother Base grows.
Right.
That goes for me too. Assign me wherever you think is best.
You? I thought you were second in command.
Don't worry, I've got that covered. But MSF is still small, and I don't have the leisure of sitting around on my butt all day.
I see your point, but...
Not to brag or anything, but I kick ass at whatever job you gave me. Put me in the area you want to focus on developing most. I'll take real good care of the staff there.
Easy, Cuz.
You probably heard this a million times, Snake, but you should always avoid combat with the enemy when possible.
Right.
We're outnumbered and in unfamiliar territory. We won't survive long in a straight fight, even with you on our side.
I know. Avoiding combat is rule number 1 in a sneaking mission.
That's right. Don't let the enemy know where you are, and attack only when necessary, using hit-and-run tactics to cripple them. It's the essence of guerrilla warfare. Going by this map, you've got a lot of different terrain types between you and the hut where the Sandinista Comandante is being held.
Looks that way, doesn't it? Starting with jungle.
The enemy won't be able to see you very well, but your visibility won't be so hot either. Stay alert. Next, you've got the swamps along the river. Make sure you get a good feel for how robust surveillance is before diving in.
Will do.
Finally, there's the boat repair cabin. The Commandante's in there. It's a key enemy outpost, and security is going to be tight. You may have to let brute force do the talking. You still have a long way to go, Snake. Use caution and don't make a racket out there. Got it?
Alright, so that's all that Miller had to say about this mission. Let's see what Paz has to say.
So, are you a student at the University for Peace, Paz?
No, I am still in high school. But Professor Galvez lets me visit his office and study with him every now and then. International law, security, conflict resolution, human rights. We study all these subjects and then use them to build the foundations of peace.
Yeah, I get it. I just never heard the UN had a University for Peace before.
Oh, that. Well, to be precise, it is still being set up. They have started conducting research, but the UN has not passed the necessary resolution yet. Professor Galvez couldn't wait that long.
Oh, right.
Costa Rica abolished its army and has also hosted the Central American Court of Justice. It is the perfect place to build a university like ours. Don't you think?
Paz, you said Costa Rica has no army, right?
Correct. Article 12 of the Constitution declared that the army as a permanent institution is abolished. It does permit us to organize armed forces for national defense based on inter-American treaties.
Only temporarily, then.
In effect, yes. But in the years since the Constitution took effect, Costa Rica has not once raised an army.
Paz, how does your country defend itself without an army? Especially in a rough neighborhood like Central America.
With the right kind of diplomacy. If we live up to our ideals and earn the respect of other countries, the international community will support us. The 2 times Nicaragua actually did invade, the conflict was resolved diplomatically under OAS auspices.
Doesn't that leave you depending on the U.S. after all?
American influence is unmatched, it is true. San Jose was critical of American policy at the time, but America supported us all the same. It was because we practiced peaceful diplomacy. That is what I like to think.
That's one way to approach it, sure. But there are countries out there who will use force no matter how bad it looks.
Maybe so. I know my way of thinking probably looks naive to you, but it is not like we expect peace without working for it. Diplomacy is a battle in itself, and we have to make the effort to seek out causes of misfortune and nip them in the bud. It was that kind of thinking that got me trapped in their base.
I'm not blaming you. You haven't done anything wrong.
The army was abolished 25 years ago, the year after the Civil War. I learned about the sorrow of civil war from a very young age, the futility of countrymen fighting each other, and the tragedy. Costa Rica learned the hard way. That is why it abolished its army. It decided to pour its efforts into education instead. More teachers than soldiers was the slogan.
Education is essential, no question. Even Che used to teach reading and writing in between guerrilla campaigns.
Costa Rica was poor at the time. We did not have many resources. I suppose we had to pick one or the other. The military or the schools.
Kaz was telling me Japan has a peace constitution too.
That is right. Apparently, when Costa Rica was drafting its constitution, they looked to the Japanese as a model. Only, Japan's constitution renounces war itself.
Unlike Costa Rica.
But Japan has a self-defense force, right? That I do not get. I think I will ask Mr. Miller about it next time I see him. He said he used to be in the JSDF.
Huh. You're a curious one, are you? Don't study too hard. What was that you were saying? Peace is not the natural state of men. You said you learned it in school.
That is right. They are the words of the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. In 1795, he wrote a book titled Perpetual Peace. Kant argued that it is precisely because peace is unnatural that we have to make it ourselves.
How?
That is what his book is about. Is the concept starting to sound interesting now?
Not really. I belong in a more natural world.
Is that so? My grandparents died in the Civil War. If only we had been at peace, they would not have lost their lives. You actually wish for war?
It's not like I want to hurt innocent civilians, but if someone attacks you, what are you supposed to do? A country needs the strength to defend itself. Otherwise it faces invasion, oppression, political subjugation.
If they would simply stop using force to tangle with each other, countries would not need force to defend themselves.
And how would you guarantee that?
I...
Sorry, but you have to understand how the world works in order to protect the ones you love. That's not to say ideals aren't important too. They are.
You are right, Snake. Thanks. Peace. Costa Rica's forests are more diverse than you might expect. Not all of them are tropical rainforests. Costa Rica is close to the equator, it is true, but it is also very mountainous.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Go up 4,000 feet in elevation and the temperature drops more than 7 degrees.
There are basically 3 types of forests. The lowlands are covered in tropical rainforests, the highlands by tropical cloud forests, and areas where there is a dry season have tropical dry forests. The lowlands along the Caribbean coast are mostly covered by hot, humid tropical rainforests. what most people envision when they think of jungle. The closely packed trees spread their branches out at great heights to soak up the sun. Their shade makes it dark near the ground, so be careful. Of course, with so little light, few plants can grow on the ground, so it might actually be easier to walk.
So even if you could photosynthesize, it wouldn't do you any good.
Photosynthesize? People cannot do that.
Most people, anyway.
He's talking about the end right there.
The Development Corporation of Costa Rica, or CODESA, was established 2 years ago. Since President Odubor was elected this year, the state has been putting a lot more effort into development.
The corporate state, so to speak.
Growth is good and all, but there is one thing that bugs me.
What's that?
I cannot help but wonder whether CODESA is not just a front for the CIA.
You mean what the professor was saying about the CIA mercenaries posing as security guards? They were using CODESA as camouflage?
I am worried that development is going to destroy the forests, but I do not suppose it has anything to do with this. This is a tropical rainforest, just like Bosque del Alba. The temperature and humidity can be brutal. El Senegal means place of mud.
No. Mud. Great. I'll watch my step.
This area often gets flooded by the river. There are canals here and there carved out by water.
Good places to hide.
But they will also make it harder for you to see. Be careful, Snake. There should be a suspension bridge around there.
In lowlands like this?
The ground nearby is harder and higher than usual. The river cut through it, eventually creating a valley. There might be another way to get across the river somewhere.
I wouldn't want to run into someone on the bridge.
The valley tends to be misty, so you might not be able to see the water from up there. Fall and it will leave more than a bump.
I'll be careful.
When a river floods an area, the banks can collapse, creating a marsh. You see a lot of them around here.
I'll need to watch the noise my feet make in El Senegal.
There is a marsh on the other side of the river, too. The suspension bridge will take you there. The river running through here is Rio del Jade, or the Jade River.
Jade? Are there minerals around here?
No, it refers to the color of the water. You will have to go to Guatemala for jade.
Doesn't look all that pretty from where I'm standing.
We are still in the rainy season, so the river is a little muddy. It will return to normal once the dry season starts. Rivers are an important means of transport around here. They are relatively calm, and there are plenty of canals along the coast too.
A boat would be more than enough to transport some good-sized cargo.
Like a nuclear weapon.
We don't know enough yet. I'll keep looking.
Thank you, Snake.
Alright, so we learned everything we could about this mission from Miller and Paz. Let's get this bad boy started. Chapter 1. A country without an army. Alright.
Head for the FSLN boathouse. It's northwest of there.
So what I like to do in the early stages of this game is I like to trank everybody.
You can use the radio you've just picked up by pressing the start button to open the menu window. You know you can assign the radio to the select button by choosing options from the menu window. Not enough room, huh? We'll keep it here at the base.
I like to trank everybody and take them back to the base because at this point in time my unit is really small and I kind of want to have quantity over quality because there's not very many people or soldiers, if you will, that have a lot of high ranks, so it's important to have a lot of them to make up for it. And I also like to steal as many items as I possibly can because I just want to have as many items as I possibly can. That makes sense, right? Let's make it over to El Senegal and the swamp. In this first mission right here, I think you have enough Fulton recoveries to steal everybody, so I'm taking everybody out, putting them all to sleep. Shut up. Don't worry about what's going on. He's sleeping, just like you. All you suckers are coming back to my unit. You will come to my unit, and you will fight alongside Big Boss. Alright, let's take this sucker right here. Let's see if I can sneak
Fulton
up on him.
recovery subject confirmed
Don't
onboard
turn around, bitch.
helicopter.
You ain't see nothing.
Freeze.
Get held up.
You won't have to worry about that one anymore. So long as none of his buddies show up anyway. Go ahead and use Fulton recovery to bring the target in.
I'm one step ahead of you, Miller. I'm one step ahead of you, sucker. So I think I kind of miscounted. I think there's more than 4 dudes left in this final area in Realdale Jade. I think I'm gonna be like one
The boathouse
Fulton
should
short.
be close by. Neutralize the security detail and make contact with the Commandante.
I'm gonna put this sucker to sleep. You're going to sleep. I'm gonna kidnap your ass. That's basically what Big Boss is doing. He's kidnapping people. Yeah, so there's 5 dudes left in this area. And
Fulton
One
recovery
of these-
helicopter
whoa.
is complete.
you didn't see nothing. Stop it. Stop peeking at me. Oh, I'm about to lose my suppressor. Alright, we got one more shot left in this thing. You're gonna bed. He almost saw me. Alright, so I'm gonna try to hold up these last 2 dudes so that they aren't alerted to my presence, because I lost the suppressor on my Mark 22. But the bad thing about the early parts of this mission, or this game rather, is that you don't have the sneaking suit. And the sneaking suit is good for sneaking up on dudes and not having them know where you're at. So to sneak up on dudes, you have to move slow as a motherfucker. Like this.
Freeze.
If you don't move slow like that, then they will know that you're there. And I'm gonna take this dude out right here. Your CQ seat, sucker! We're going for a ride! And you can take dudes down from a ladder. I'm gonna steal your ass, cause
Good.
he might wake
now
up.
meet with the FSLN Commandante. He's inside the boathouse.
And if they're on top of a ladder that's not that tall, it'll just knock them out. If it's too tall, then it'll kill them. But just like that, this mission is complete, baby. Look at that bad motherfucker. Big Boss. Shut up.
¿Quién es? Eche. No way. What do we do?
Sandinistas, right? I'm looking for someone.
¡Mi viejo! Shh. He's dead. They killed nuestro viejo.
You're his daughter. Then that makes you his delegado, right? Relax. I'm not your enemy. Cuban.
A cigar? I'll take whatever you've got. I owe you one. But I prefer cigarettes, you know. How do I look? A little like El Che, no? You Cubano?
Colombiano. A photographer. I came to Costa Rica to take pictures of birds.
Birds?
Yeah, quetzals.
You've got no telephoto lens. How do you get your shots?
Telephotos for amateurs. It's all in the timing.
Oh.
Let me smoke
Okay,
too.
we can talk until I finish this. Chico!
Tell me what's going on here.
This place is crawling with soldiers. They don't look like private security, more like hired guns. They're loaded with the latest gear from all over the world.
I heard they're a security force hired by Codessa.
Yeah, and I'm Papa Noel. Those guys are UCLA's.
UCLA's. La CIA.
I saw them, setting up shop in town. They're planning to do here what they did in Chile.
If that's the case, what are they after?
Whatever it is, it's not us.
You don't think they're here to push you back into Nicaragua?
Impossible. Too much hardware. Too many bases. Didn't you see? They've got helicopters, tanks. It's like we're in Da Nang. There must be something else.
They have a base near here.
There's a factory to the north, across a suspension bridge.
Factory to the north, across a bridge. Have you seen the big transport boat, mercenary crew on the Rio del Jade?
You mean the barge? It's upstream from here. Up toward Irasu.
Any idea what's on it?
I could introduce you to some of our compas up there, but I don't recommend going to the mountains. We've lost a lot of people there. They take us captive, torture us for information about our compass, and then they kill us like pigs.
Got it! Alright!
This was our last hideout, the final refuge for El Frente, after being pushed out of Nicaragua and into this peaceful paradise of Costa Rica. Then, El Monstruo attacked.
A monster.
Y mi viejo... Mi viejo, Papá, he was la esperanza, our hope.
Now that Papa's gone, my sister's la comandante de la revolución.
Do not listen to him. Papa was a hero who fought by Sandino's side. I am only his daughter. You need a special talent to become cacique. It takes someone great to unite all of Las Compas.
Sorry to interrupt, but leaders don't choose themselves. Neither do heroes. You carry on his legacy of La Esperanza, and they'll follow you, no question.
You think so? My compas trust me, but not one of them calls me Comandante.
Amanda!
See what I mean?
El Colibri!
Oh damn, it's about to kick off. No time for cigars. Here it is. El Colibri? That's the chrysalis. It's singing and tearing up. Amanda doesn't give a fuck though. He's about to blow it up.
Get down!
These things are so damn annoying. Big boss is about to blow him out of the sky. Here we go, we're gonna blow it up. Die, little glass ball of fool! One more. Here's a rocket for you. Suck it down. Boom, baby. Oh, and the big boy wants it. Big boy wants it. I got one for you, big boy. I got one for you. Eat it, bitch. That big boy said,
What the hell?
Es un hombre nuevo, an unmanned weapon, a robot.
Uh-oh. That boy is gone.
No, he won't survive the fall.
Out of my way! Better for him to die at the hand of a compa than suffer their torture. Stay here. As long as I'm still alive, I might as well repay. Over here! Fine, Chico! ¡Venceremos!
Alright, mission complete. We contacted the Sandinista Comandante. And we got an A rank right there. Now, like I said, I could have got an S rank. I got no alerts, no kills. I got all the cutscene interaction bonuses. But because I watched the cutscene in full, I didn't have the proper clear time to get the S rank. I'm not going to be worried about that. I'm always going to be worried about the story in the Metal Gear games. But we got that mission done. That's what's most important. And we stole 9 suckers. We kidnapped them. And we got the specs for the M1911.
Snake, what was that thing?
Whatever it was, it looked unmanned.
Unmanned? I'd heard rumors, but an operational unit?
What the hell is going on here?
Not to quote Amanda, but the hardware they've got here isn't just unusual, it's overkill, which means one thing, it's nukes. So the question now becomes why?
We can't make that call yet. We need more intel.
How? Our source is dead.
But his daughter isn't.
Good thinking. We can follow her. Head for the next outpost and make contact with Amanda if she's still alive.
Roger.